I very often warn people about the danger of spiritual bypassing. And this is for good reason, because it is all too easy to turn awakening into something that detaches us from life, that somehow creates a state of dissociation. But having said that, we could also say that the spiritual bypass is absolutely necessary. What do I mean by that? Well, when we are going straight to the recognition of awareness, of being, we are, in a very real sense, totally bypassing all the conditioning of our body-mind. Bypassing it how? Well, for this timeless instant of resting in the completeness of being, all the conditioning, all past history, all trauma is just totally irrelevant. Being is not enhanced if the body-mind is calm, and being is not diminished if the body-mind is agitated. So fundamentally, the condition of the body-mind is utterly irrelevant. This has nothing to do with that, has nothing to do with any content of experience. Now, in that phrasing, it's already obvious that in what I just said, there is a danger of a spiritual bypass. What do I mean by that? Well, the mind could take what I just said and turn this being, this awareness, into something, some kind of space or state. And as soon as we do that, the mind has created something that is other, that is separate from our embodiment, that is distinct from all of our perceptions and feelings. If, however, the bypass was done correctly, so to say, and we have not recognized some spaced out state, but the actual being that is here, then we don't wind up in a bypass. Why? Well, because in being in of itself, there is nothing to it which could be other than our field of experience, other than this embodiment. Being is not something, not even in a subtle way. It is not a state or experience or anything at all. And yet, it is also not nothing. It is simply this presence that is here right now, and yet cannot be grasped, cannot be pinned down. And so when this is the being, the real being in which we are resting, the idea of separation or bypassing just simply doesn't apply. In the simplicity of this presence, separation and distance simply make no sense. Everything is included in this utterly effortless intimacy. We can never establish distance between being and our feelings, because again, being is not something. It is not something that can be distinct or separate. This boggles the mind. Don't worry if you can't make sense of that. For the mind, there has to be either duality or oneness. It needs to be one thing without separation, or it needs to be two things that are distinct. But being is non-dual. It is not one with, it is not merged with the field of experience. There isn't some kind of flattening that removes all the diversity and distinctiveness of this. And nor is there some kind of actually existing duality, where awareness exists as a detached witness of this world. So, what is it then? Non-dual. But non-dual is just a fancy word for this. The simplicity of being, in which nothing is missing, in which there is nowhere further to go. So we simply rest and appreciate this placeless place.